Hello and welcome to ThePrint. Today we have with us former J&K Chief Minister and Vice President of the National Conference, Mr. Omar Abdullah. Since elections are around the corner, we'll be speaking with him about the Lok Sabha polls, the preparation on the ground, what about the India alliance, and what changes, if at all, have happened on the ground after 370. Welcome to ThePrint, sir.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to ask you about the India alliance. The latest news that made headlines was that NC will be fighting the elections from all the 3 seats in Kashmir. And PDP was not very happy with it. Congress will be putting candidates in the rest of the 2 Jammu seats. So, do we see this as a sort of rift in the India alliance? How do we see this?
Why would you see this as a rift? Please, explain to me, how is this a rift?
Because from what we were thinking from the outside was that all parties will be fielding the candidates together.
So we are fielding. We are part of the India alliance. We are already holding 3 seats.
Right.
We are continuing to fight those 3 seats, and we are in talks with Congress about the other 3 seats of erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir.
Right.
So how is this a rift?
But what about the PDP?
What about the PDP?
There were talks about them fielding the candidate from Rajouri and Anantnag.
On what basis?
That's what they have been saying, that we have popularity, we are confident that we can win a seat from them. All I'm asking is that when there is an alliance, all the parties sit together and decide that these are the candidates we'll be fielding. So now NC has said that we...
No, that's not the way it works. The party that assumes leadership of the alliance, they talk to other parties. Therefore, we have been talking to the Congress. I assume the Congress has also been talking to the PDP. We made our position known to the Congress. We are very much a part of the India alliance. We also stand firm in our commitment to the ideals and the agenda that the PAGD had. So we are not breaking up any alliance, but based on all sort of political inputs, past electoral understandings, and the way in which alliances work. At the end of the day, on what basis are you expecting an alliance member to give up a seat to another alliance member? By that logic, why don't you go and ask Mamata Banerjee the same question in West Bengal? In West Bengal, the TDP, the Trinamool Congress, hasn't even given the 2 seats that the Congress currently holds, much less any more than that. Given the fact that on 50% of the seats, the National Conference is more than happy to work out an electoral understanding with the Congress, I don't think you can accuse us of being either unfair or anti-alliance or rigid. We've been as flexible as it is possible to be.
But is there any conversation happening with the PDP on how to go ahead?
As I said, this is a matter of the India alliance. The leadership of the India alliance has been assumed by the Congress.
Yeah.
The chairperson of the India alliance is Janab Kharge Sahab. Under these circumstances, it is for the Congress to see how best to take the dialogue forward. Our commitment to the India alliance has been that while we understand that the fact that there are less seats in Jammu and Kashmir means that the possibility of flexibility is also less. But we are more than happy if the Congress and the PDP are able to arrive at some sort of working understanding, and the PDP supports all the India alliance candidates in the parliament election. We will keep our door open for some understanding in the assembly elections later this year.
Okay, so coming to the assembly elections, there's been no clarity on if there'll be an election, plus there's no clarity on the statehood as well. In the past, you've also made statements like that you won't be contesting elections unless statehood is given.
I haven't even said that. I've said under the current circumstances and for the foreseeable future, I'm not contesting assembly elections. I've not linked it to anything.
Okay. So, but how do you see this? What has changed? How long do you think it's going to take?
What has changed? Unless the government of India wishes to find itself in contempt of court, or unless the government of India suddenly finds a very good reason why they can have parliament elections in Jammu and Kashmir and not assembly elections. As far as I know, the Supreme Court has ordered elections in Jammu and Kashmir to be completed before 31st of September of this year.
Yes.
So there is now no longer any doubt about assembly elections. The only sort of small doubt that exists is that whether simultaneous polls will take place.
Yeah.
Now, we have been pushing for simultaneous polls for two reasons. One, the Prime Minister himself has talked about one nation, one election.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking for one nation, one election, and assuming that by the next parliament election you will have this process in place,
right,
then why not start now? This is a golden opportunity for you to bring Jammu and Kashmir into the one nation, one election umbrella by having elections for assembly and parliament simultaneously. Also, we have not had an assembly election in Jammu and Kashmir now for almost 10 years. How long are you going to make people wait? So, given that the Supreme Court has ordered elections, we hope that the Election Commission will be brave and will order elections both for the Assembly and Parliament at the same time.
Prime Minister Modi was here for a rally and he gave a statement saying that he can see happiness in the eyes of Kashmiris and it's a changed place and how they have won the hearts of Kashmiris. I want to know your reaction on that song.
It would have been a very sort of honest statement if the crowd that he was addressing had all been there of their own free will. All of us know that government employees were forced to attend that rally. They were bussed in from all parts of the valley, some of them even leaving their homes at 3 o'clock in the morning so that their attendance could be marked. I don't think much happiness would have been visible on the faces of people who were there not by choice but by force. But if what the Prime Minister says is true, then let the people vote for a government of their choice. If people are happy and the Prime Minister sees that happiness, then I'm sure he would want nothing more than for that happiness to grow and for that happiness to manifest itself into votes for his party. The BJP would like to win Jammu and Kashmir. So let's have an assembly election and then we'll see how much happiness is in the eyes of the people for the BJP and the central government.
I mean, taking thread from here, the law and order in the valley, center keeps sending us data. There are documents that the police issues saying that the cases of stone pelting have reduced. They're actually zero now. There are no incidents of stone pelting that are taking place. So many tourists are coming. Plus, there are no bandh calls. There are no hartals. The businesses are doing very well. So all this they say is normalcy returning to Kashmir, and people are now happy. Your reaction to that? I mean, because from the data that we see, the bandh calls, the hartals, the stone pelting incidents.
Well, only two things have reduced.
Yeah.
I will grant that. Stone pelting is less. I won't say it's non-existent because oftentimes when it does happen in limited areas, they tend to bury it. Media isn't allowed to report it, and the figures don't reflect it. But we do know that in the last year or two there have been incidents of stone pelting linked to either deaths of militants or even because of the situation in Palestine and what's happening there on the ground in Gaza. But that said, as far as the hartal calls are concerned, yes, I agree. There have been no hartal calls because those separatist leaders who are free don't feel like giving calls for hartals, and most of the separatist leaders are in jail. So there are less or no hartal calls. Well, that's fine.
Is that a credit to the government, or is it something that has been imposed or enforced?
I think that's a question for the Hurriyat, not for me. If they have stopped the hartal calls because they have given up their ideology and their slogans, then that's a good thing. But if there are other reasons behind it, I can't say. But like I said, I do concede that stone pelting is less and hartal calls are not being given.
And is it good for the people of Kashmir?
Well, of course it's good. None of us liked hartal calls. We had times in my government also when hartal calls may not have been non-existent, but they were far less. 2012, 2013. As far as tourism numbers are concerned, I've already sort of talked at depth on those. Unfortunately, when most of you are given those numbers, you don't really scratch the surface. You take them at face value. If you were to look at the numbers a little more closely, you will understand that this government is excellent at juggling figures and are able to produce numbers that are sort of very far removed from ground reality. But that's the advantage governments have.
Tourism has always been flourishing in Kashmir. I mean, whenever there used to be a time where there was peace.
Well, we've had good numbers in the past, but the numbers that the government claims right now are far in excess of the actual reality on the ground.
Yeah, you said in the last interview that we had that there are not even so much infrastructure to support.
Well, no new infrastructure has come up. So where are these tourists going? Yeah. But anyway, be that as it may.
Talking about Article 370, is it that the people of Kashmir have accepted it, or they are now just tired and they want to just move?
I don't think they're either tired or they've accepted it.
Because we don't see much on the ground as far as the protests are concerned, and nobody is even talking about it.
No, people do talk about it. It's still an issue that people have an emotional attachment to. But they also realize that nothing is going to change overnight. Nothing is going to change with this Supreme Court. Nothing is going to change with this government.
Right.
Look, how many years did it take the BJP to reach a point where they were able to do something with 370? In 1984, they had 2 MPs. So it took them, just under 35 years? People here also realize that the struggle for Jammu and Kashmir and for its identity, its status, its protections in the constitution may very well be a long one. That's fine.
Coming to the elections again, NC had an alliance with the BJP in the past when we talk about the Vajpayee government.
No, never.
Going back to the Vajpayee government?
No, we were never in alliance with the BJP.
That's what I had read.
No, we were part of the NDA, yes, but we never had an electoral alliance with the BJP. In fact, if anything, as part of the NDA, we fought elections against the BJP. We defeated the BJP in the Jammu Parliament seat while we were part of the NDA. So our alliance was with the NDA, not with the BJP.
But going ahead, I mean, if you're successful in this election, and if it comes to that, then there has to be an alliance to form the government. Will NC be open to that idea?
Why are you assuming that the BJP will have the numbers?
This is just a hypothetical question.
Exactly, it's a hypothetical question. So why would you want a categorical answer?
No, I'm just exploring. I want to ask whether
we have no intention, nor do we have any interest in any sort of electoral understanding or alliance with the BJP. And I do not believe that when the assembly finally takes shape, the BJP will be in any position to be part of any government.
But when you talk about the Lok Sabha, they are still at the center. And if NC takes these seats, they'll still have to work in coordination with the central government.
Why?
So how will that equation?
Why do we have to work in coordination with the central government?
Of course, it's
why do we? No, why? The National Conference can very well sit in opposition. We sat in opposition for 5 years between 2019 and 24.
Larger things. I mean, state can't work in silos, right?
But we are not in state government right now.
Absolutely, but even if you win the election this time and if the statehood is not granted, if it still remains a UT, I'm just talking about a situation where...
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to indulge your hypothetical sort of scenarios that you are painting. I will paint for you a different scenario. I'll paint for you a scenario where Jammu and Kashmir is restored full statehood, where where there is a single party government in Jammu and Kashmir, where the BJP is not part of the government in J&K.
But do you think it can still no? I mean, there has to be some sort of coordination with the center. Not at all. I mean,
so are you saying that the BJP is such a vindictive party that it will punish the people of Jammu and Kashmir for not? No. So then, why are you assuming that that we will have to sort of have some sort of understanding or alliance or cooperation?
No, cooperation when the government is working.
Look, India is a federation of states.
I'm talking about administrative.
India is a federation of states. States have their own rights. States have their own position within the constitution. I am sure whichever government is elected in Jammu and Kashmir, the union government will be cooperative with it.
Right.
Now, any government that comes into sort of existence in Jammu and Kashmir or any state has a working relationship with the government of India. Doesn't Mamata Banerjee have some sort of working relationship with the centre? As does the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, as does the Chief Minister of Telangana, so does the Chief Minister of Punjab. Why will Jammu and Kashmir be any different? But please don't sort of confuse an administrative working relationship with any sort of electoral understanding, alliance or cozying up, because that is not what the National Conference is here for.
No, absolutely. You've been very clear about it. It's a big thing. Also, talking about 370 again, we've heard a lot from the centre as to what all has changed. We keep hearing from different MPs, from the PM, from the Home Minister. But you being here, if you could tell us from the ground, what has
I would rather you tell people what has changed, because other than the two things you've talked about, I can't see what has changed. I don't see new investment, I don't see new projects, I don't see better governance, I don't see more development, I don't see what has changed. But you're here, you go. Maybe you can find new projects, you can find new hospitals, you can find new highways, you can find new airports. I don't know, maybe you can. I can't see them anywhere. The railway project that they're now talking about, the foundation stone for this was laid by Indira Gandhi. It was given the status of a project of national importance by Prime Minister Vajpayee. There has not been a single Prime Minister who has not come and put some sort of foundation stone for this project. The aims and other things, these predate 2019. The IIT, IIM, central universities, these are all from previous governments. The medical colleges that are opened in districts, these were when the UPA was in power. So please, if you can show me investment or development that has arisen because 370 was removed, I'll be more than happy to accept it.
Coming back to the PM's visit, one significant thing that was being talked about was the renovation of Hazrat Bal Shrine and how he inaugurated the renovated shrine. Now, is that a sort of message that he's trying to give to the Muslim population? Is it an outreach kind of?
I'm sorry, but what renovation has happened in Hazrat Bal?
In fact, we did a story ourselves at ThePrint. I visited the shrine myself. It's in bad shape.
So then what have you inaugurated?
But I mean but there's a sort of political message there.
What message?
That's what people have been talking about. In fact, I was myself amazed that nobody cared to go and see what has happened.
That's my point. And sadly, I'm glad that the fact that the shrine is in a bad shape is now on the record, because the shrine board is headed by a BJP party worker. So if anything, the BJP owes the people of Jammu and Kashmir a huge apology for the way in which they have managed Hazrat Bal Shrine. And if anything, rather than more development and improvement, things have gone backwards in terms of our shrine management.
But it was being seen as more of a political message to the Muslims, saying that it's not just a Ram temple.
The people of Jammu and Kashmir got the message from the CAA. We know exactly where the BJP stands as far as Muslims are concerned.
That was in fact my next question to you on the CAA. How do you see this development?
I think I see it as the way other Muslims see it. It is exclusionary. The CAA has been designed simply to exclude Muslims and to, for want of a better set of words, put us in our place. Basically, we as Muslims will probably now be able to find refuge in countries like the UK, France, the US, Canada, and elsewhere. But a country like India, which was born of a secular ideal, which was born of this belief that India is for all. India is not a country where Muslims will be able to sort of find refuge or find safety, which I guess tells us where we are.
Again, taking a feather from what PM Modi has been talking about when it comes to regional parties in Kashmir. He has always been saying that these are dynastic parties, whether it's the NC or the PDP, and they have looted Kashmir. These are the kind of words that he's used in the past. So I just want to know from you, how is this? I mean, this is the narrative each time whenever he talks about Kashmir or any other BJP leader who talks about Kashmir. What is your retort?
Nothing. What do you want me to say? The fact that they have nothing new to say is in itself indicative. I would like one day for these leaders to be able to come and give the people of Jammu and Kashmir some new vision rather than this tried and tested. And as you yourself have said, every time they come, they say the same thing. Maybe one day they'll come and have something new to say.
Right. Thank you so much for being with us, sir.
Pleasure.
And all the best for the elections.
Thank you.